Hi everyone, this is Niharika from Your Legal Career Coach. We are a mentorship platform for law students, and on our YouTube channel, you will find us interviewing students and industry professionals to make your journey easier. Today, we have with us Urja Mishra. To quickly introduce her, she graduated from Pune University and she is currently pursuing her Masters of Laws degree from London School of Economics. In this session, she will guide us and talk about her journey of Masters from London School of Economics. Welcome, Urja. I request you to please introduce yourself to the audience, after which we can begin with the session.
Hello, everyone. It's so pleasure to be here with all of you. I am Urja and I'm currently pursuing my LLM at London School of Economics. I've graduated this year from Savitribai Phule Pune University and I've got my first class with distinction over there. And yeah, so I'm currently in LSE doing my LLM.
So, firstly, you immediately opted to pursue your master's. So, what was the rationale behind taking that decision? And did you not think of getting some work experience before applying for an LLM?
Since the inception of my undergraduate years in law, I had a thing at the back of my mind that I want to do my master's. I want to get a good grip on the subject before I start myself into the professional realm. So that was one of the big reason why I didn't want to take a break after my undergraduate studies and directly went on to doing my master's. Secondly, I feel that for a person or for a study of law, which is already very much intensive, you get a grip of the subjects in the 5 years. And then once you need a specialization of a sort, it becomes easier to continue the journey without a break, which again connects to the first point that I mentioned. So I'm not against anyone taking break or then going for their masters. But for me personally, and during my interactions with people there at LSE, there's one thing that I realized it becomes a bit difficult for you to switch from your working sphere, get on to study, and then get back to work. So, I mean, it becomes a bit difficult for you. And trust me, the studies are very much hectic. They require a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication and discipline, which is already culminated into us over the 5 years or 3 years of our legal journey. So that 1 year extension just gives us a boon onto understanding the study culture over there as well. So yeah, these two were the reasons why I directly went on to doing my masters. And lastly, I also felt that it's quite easier to adapt to the surroundings and to the work culture. And another incentive that I got to know was that if you take a break and then you go on to doing your masters, and then once you come back after doing your masters, your work experience get reduced by an year or so. So that 1 year of you doing your masters abroad is not calculated in terms of your work experience. Rather, you are 1 year behind again. So I mean that creates a bit of an obstacle in my eyes when you are going through your professional journey. And secondly, even if you're looking out for jobs, say in UK or anywhere abroad, you have to anyway start from the beginning, because lateral hiring in today's time, it's very difficult to get into it. So if you are directly completing your masters and then getting on to the professional trajectory, it serves as a boon to you.
Right. What were the key factors that led you to choose LSE for your master's? And did you also receive any other offers?
So yeah, I got offers from a couple of universities. I got offers from King's. I had also got an offer from Cambridge. However, I chose LSE firstly because of three main reasons. I understand that Cambridge also has a good legacy, but one of the major reasons that I chose LSE was because I wanted to be in the heart of London. I wanted to be placed and located in central London, which is the hub where all the law firms are there, all the other networking MNCs are there. So I wanted to surround myself in that environment. Secondly, LSE has a great national and international prestige that it follows. So the faculties that you get, the exposures that you get, and the multiculturalism that's promoted in LSE. So irrespective of you being a student from any nationality, the way LSE treats you is phenomenal. So I guess that's a thing that I'd heard, but having been there now for more than 3 months, I understand how important it is to have that kind of emotional and intellectual sentiment. Lastly, the research facilities that LSE gives. So it has a really very well research driven environment. along with the networking opportunities it provides. So, I mean, that's the way you actually get to turn all the things into your favor. So, that's what LSE was known for. And fortunately, after being there, I also get to know. And another thing was that I went on to pursue my LLM. However, there are a lot of opportunities that the master students get to intermingle with other specializations. That is, be it governance, be it public policy, be it environment, be it management. So that's a very key factor for me as well while choosing LSE. And also, I got to know after I joined that in this year's ranking, LSE had surpassed Oxford and Cambridge ranking to become the first ranking of UK. So yeah, that was another thing. But I got to know it after I secured my admission. So that's just me flaunting it later on.
It's absolutely justified.
Yeah.
Right. Could you please share the application process at London School of Economics for international students, and also how should one prepare for the same? How in advance, rather?
Yeah, so I guess that's one of the key aspect that you should start early, and by that I mean really early because there are things that you will miss on if you don't start early. So I'll first tell you what's the application procedure, what are the essentials that they require, and then I'll tell you what are the things that I did not do right because that could be a way for you to look out for. So the application procedure is pretty simple. It's described on the website. You need a couple of documents, which includes your personal statement, which is very, very essential. I'll say that is like the core fundamental which they look out for when they are selecting your application, because that's your chance to showcase your passion for law, your career goals, and why LSE is the ideal institution for you. So basically, you have to sort of weave a story around your career trajectory, your academic trajectory, and I'll say be honest but also be wise. So you need to be honest about why do you want LSE, but you should also have the knack to be wise enough to culminate that story, because at the end we are lawyers. We should be pro at telling stories and weaving
Absolutely.
whatever choices we've made. So I think that's one of the things that it needs to follow like a path as to. So I started mine by telling about my first class in law school and how did constitution and jurisprudence inspired me, and I connected that to my experiences at MNCs and languages that I learned and classical dance. So you just need to be honest, but at the end, the climax, as we say in movies or stories also, should come to one conclusion, is that why you are the ideal candidate for LSE and so forth. Apart from that, your academic records need to be bang on, because that's something that they do not ever compromise with. I have seen my friends and other people applying for it and just losing out with 0.5 percentage. So, I mean, everything you can have bang on, you can get your conditional letter for it. However, if you're someone who is in your final year and you do not get that percent above, so LSE until last year required 70% of an aggregate score. And even if you score 69.5, they do not accept, they do not give you your unconditional offer letter. So you need to be bang on with your academic records. Just make sure when I say start early, it's not just in terms of actually applying, it also means that you need to be on your toes with reference to your academic records. Next comes your references. You need to be also very much crisp and in good terms with your faculties, with your professors, with your activities, so that you can get good references. So that's something, but that's pretty much easier process that you need to upload. And lastly, your TOEFL and IELTS scores. So I say that that's something, however, that you can keep for a later end, because unlike Oxbridge, that's Oxford and Cambridge, LSE has this policy that even after you getting your conditional letter, you have a 6 months period to submit your TOEFL or IELTS score. Because I know the application procedure itself is very expensive. So it's much of a very judicial and an optimum choice that you do not give your IELTS and TOEFL beforehand. Once you receive your conditional letter, then you go on and prepare for an IELTS and TOEFL so that you have something to back up on.
Right.
So I guess that's something that you can do later on after you have given your thing, and that's because the leverage that LSE also gives you, that you need not submit your scores once while you are submitting your application form. So yeah, that's about it. Those are the four important documents that it requires. Apart from that, there's no personal interview or test that they take.
Right.
So that's a pretty much simpler process. However, I'll always say well begun is half done. So you need to start beforehand.
Right.
And yeah, so those are the four important things that are there. And apart from that, I also feel the one of the big hurdle that I faced with respect to the application procedure was the deadlines that you have to look out for, which you'll realize at the end when you receive your unconditional offer. So the thing that personally happened with me was I got pretty late in submitting my applications. I did that in the month of December. I did that on 20th of December. LSE goes on a break for Christmas, and they actually mean vacation is vacation. They do not take any work during their vacations. So you do not get any reply, and they are not expected to work also during that period of time. So that means that you don't get your application reviewed and an answer until the end of February. Post February, you'll have time to give your exams and then receive your unconditional offer, which will in turn make it difficult for you to apply for your student visa. And then you have to pay more pounds and more money to get your
Mhm.
student priority visa in the month of July and August when you have to leave for London. So that's something that happened with me. And after reaching there, I also got to know that was the case with many others who applied late.
Right.
So start with your applications in November or December. I know when you apply at that time, it seems very futuristic, and we are used to procrastinating things because it's December, it's cold out there, you have your assignments, you have your applications, you have your submissions, you have your exams. But trust me, it will save you a lot in terms of your mental peace and financial peace, both.
Absolutely. Any
Yeah.
other challenges that you faced during your application process and how you handle it?
I guess this was one. Apart from that, I think it was keeping up or managing with the deadlines that you get for submission of your so there are a couple of scholarships and financial aids that LSE gives. So you need to apply. So the incentive that LSE has over there is, irrespective of you securing your offer letter with respect to your conditions and conditional or unconditional offer, you still have the option of applying for the financial scheme or the graduate support scheme. So
Right.
that is, you can apply for it, and once you get your conditional offer, you automatically become eligible for the graduate scheme if successful. And you also need an SOP for that.
Hmm.
So I got late in applying for my application. That's the reason I applied late for my financial scheme, and that's the reason I couldn't get through it.
Right.
So that's one of the things that I also faced. Also look out for other Indian scholarships that are there. There are quite a few. However, most of them have their deadlines by December end or Jan end. So you need to be very vigilant with it. Look out for your states. There are quite state funded scholarships that are there, and there are certain brackets that you need to fill up that to be eligible for it. So I guess that's one of it. And I think at the end of the day, it's just you maintaining your to do for the day. So just don't stress yourself out. Just be on your toes with what the application procedure is, and you'll be sorted. Yeah.
Right. Another important question. What kinds of specializations does LSE offer? And did you opt for a general LLM or a specialized one?
So LSE offers in total of 15 specializations, and I had not opted. So again, that's a really very good thing that LSE gives for their master students, is that you do not have to select your specialization while you are applying. Because so firstly, for someone like me who has directly come from their graduation and gone for their masters, or even for people who have worked for a couple of years and then come to LSE, you do not know A, what the structure is there at the university, B, how the professors are, C, what is actually what the market wants
Hmm.
from you at that point. Or you might think that this specialization is something that interests you, but is that the specialization what interests the market also? Because there needs to be a balance that needs to be drawn between a well-interested or a passionate specialization and a specialization which pays you well. So at the end, because we want a balance of both. Now with LSE, the thing is you can apply, while applying, you do not need to select a specialization. Now the course is divided into 3 terms. It's autumn term, which is the first term. It begins in September, it ends in December. The winter term, which starts in January and it ends in April, and the spring term, which starts in May and ends in July. So you need to select your specialization at the end of your winter term. That means you have preliminary your entire autumn term and bits and pieces of your winter term to select down to your specialization. So that gives you a great benefit to have a multidimensional and a bird's eye view onto all the respective streams that are there. You get to interact with the professors. There are plethora of networking opportunities, so as you can gauge what the market is happening, what's happening in the market at that point of time. And then at the end, you decide your specialization, whether that's beneficial for you or not, or you can even after that opt for a general specialization. Having said that, there's another incentive that it gives is, in order to have your specialization out of the 15 that are there, you need to select a maximum of 5 specialization from the total 8 courses that they are given. So basically each subject is called course over there, out of which only 5 needs to be from that specialization. 3 again you can venture out and take just for interest and fun and research. So that's again where you actually are in a very conducive environment wherein you can have your creativity stimulated. So I intend to specialize into EU and transnational laws, or I'm still gauging upon whether I can shift to public international law. But at the same time, I've taken topics from art law, from media law, and I have a blend of financial and corporate crimes, because those were the 3 options that I can just take to learn.
Right.
I think that's a beautiful blend that LSE gives you, and it is not forcing you or hammering you to select a specialization without even learning that. So I think that's a really streamlined pathway that they are giving you. And apart from that, you also have 1 week before each term to interact with the professor and attend the classes. So you know what is the intention of each module, each course, what will be the outcome for it, whether you are actually meant for it. So I guess, yeah, that's a really encouraging thing that I found LSE to be worth for.
Right. So let's say at the starting of the course, I am very sure of the specialization I want to opt for. So do I have the option to opt for those specializations just at the beginning of the course without waiting for the winter term?
No. So the option, there's a Google form that they circulate that begins in the winter term.
Oh,
So irrespective of that, you can't. However, the option given to you is, so now with each specialization on their website itself, there are course modules that are given to you that in this specialization. So for example, let's take up public international law specialization. So in public international law specialization, there are these 8 subjects that are covered. That is, say, international courts and tribunals, constitutionalism in global south, comparative constitutional rights, and so on. You have to pick your modules for that term based on the specialization. So whether you're sure that you want this specialization, you will pick up 3 from that and 3 from other things, so that you can fulfill your 5 mandatory aspect of having that specialization. So what you can do at the start of your term is just select on to the subjects which come under that specialization. So in the winter term, when you have to actually select your options, you are secured with your 5 subjects. Because the hurdle over there is some of the courses are capped. That is, you only have 30 seats for that particular course. So you need to be on toes when it starts. You need to have a clarity which courses do you want, because then you can't change. Or else you want a course specifically, but you are late and the 30 seats cap gets filled, so you won't be able to take that course even if you want that specialization. So at that point of time, it could create a hurdle for you. So having a clarity is good. However, I'll say don't keep yourself so much restricted. Be sure and be open to explore, because that's what you're here for. In your 5 years, you did not have an option at all to choose and select from. But over here, they are giving you this wide diversity, and the pattern of teaching, the pattern of examination is so very different yet student friendly. So I think it's just, you have to take the best of both worlds over there.
Right. On the same lines, what is the typical class size for LLM students and how does that impact the classroom experience and the student faculty interactions?
Yeah, so the cohort size in total is of 300 of this year. I'm not sure of how it was last year, but it's around 300, 250 to 300. Now, as I said, some classes are capped, some are not. That is, the maximum that each class has is 30. Now, that depends on the subject that you take. So, even if a cohort is made up of 300 students, there are subjects on which it will differ. So, for example, financial and corporate crimes module will have only 30 students in that particular class. So, that after your admission is done, after your law school starts, you are given 1 week to explore. Post that, there is an online form that you have to fill, which runs on a first come, first serve basis, wherein you have to select your course,
Mm.
and then 30 students are capped. Now, some of the courses which have, say, a larger requirement and the professor is willing to take more classes for that are also capped at 60. However, in one class, there can't be more than 30. Then there will be two courses that will be running, one of 30 and another of 30. So the
Right.
maximum size is always of 30. And I guess that's the reason, which answers your second question as well. It's that you have a lot of scope of interaction with the professors because you get to talk to them one on one. There's enough time for you to discuss your queries. Additionally, there's something else that runs in LSE, which is known as office hours. That is, during the course time, if you're not able to understand a particular topic or you just want to have a chit chat with the professor on any of the topic, you can book office hours with the professor, wherein it's just you and the professor discussing things.
Right.
So that is something that's really nice. And another thing about the interaction, I guess it's a very a serious manner wherein you can discuss things and your queries with the professors and get a hang of it.
Right. Coming back to one thing you mentioned for the reasons why you chose LSE was research assistantship. So, what do you feel about research assistantship? Should you research for credit or should you research for money? I'm just asking your perspective here.
Um, I think it should be both because I won't lie when I say that money isn't important. Of course it is. You're living in heart of London. You're studying at a university which is taking exorbitant amount of fees from you. And there are students who might or might not get scholarships. So I guess, of course, that's something that's very important. However, that's not the only thing because if you are at LSE, you need to take help of the amount of opportunities that it's giving you. So I guess it's both. It's for the credits and the learnings that you get and for money. However, the platform that LSE gives you is also quite nice. So it has different kinds of certification courses. In fact, for legal students, I recently was enrolled for a legal assistant research program wherein they actually teach you how to research in the shoes of an assistant. So, I mean, even that practice is given because they value it so much. It's not that, you just become a research assistant. There is a training that you have to undertake wherein you understand what are the nuances of research per se. So you need to understand that, okay, it's not something that you just Google up articles or search it on Manupatra or LexisNexis. It's actually the type, right from types of research to how you apply those research or what are the outcomes of research. So I guess both of them are really very good. And having said that, a master's course is a research based course, I'll say.
Right.
So when you go on to your LLM, it's predominantly a research based course because you are intending to get a more robust, a more holistic perspective on what does that subject means. You're trying to divulge more of the core fundamentals, so that's only possible when you are redoing your search.
Right.
So I think that's what LSE gives you for. And the professors, including the library staff themselves, are so helpful in teaching you how to research because I think that's something that's not taught in India at all. You're just told that you have to research, wherein, and I am guilty of that I'm guilty of doing that also. That just going on to Manupatra SEC online, researching, just looking up at journals or going on Google Scholar and just finding out, copy pasting paragraphs, paraphrasing and submitting. That used to be my research for a couple of years in law school. So even I'm guilty of it, and I'm not ashamed of saying, because I think everyone does it. It's
Does
just
that?
that people are not ready to accept that. However, at LSE, they create this environment for you wherein you feel that, I shouldn't be using this, I shouldn't be using AI, and I actually want to research. So I guess stimulation of that interest is very much important, because for me, law is looking at things from different perspectives. And that is what is also the fundamentals of research. And that's what LSE has stimulated in me a lot.
Right. What clinical experiences or practical legal training are you undertaking as a part of your LLM, and how is it contributing to your growth?
Yeah, so there are three things that I'll say. Firstly, LSE has got its legal aid clinic that's there. And in the legal aid clinic, there are 3, 4 opportunities that are there. So I am a part of the student advisor cell that's there. Then there's also an outdoor clerkship scheme which has come up. So with outdoor clerkship scheme, you actually get to interact with, so LSE Law Clinic for there acts like a bridge. You have the clients, you have the firms that are dealing with the cases, and you are put into the shoes of an clerk at the courtroom who manages the cases from both ends and create notes and gives it to both the client and the firms. So I guess you sort of mediate between the two of them, and you get to learn practically by attending courts there, which otherwise wouldn't be possible for you. In terms of student advisor, it's more or less same. It helps you deal with cases of employment or family laws and other stuff. So legal aid clinic is one. Second is we have a legal boot camp in process right now. It's the first time that they're experimenting with it. So which is delving on different types of AI and medical laws and public international laws and corporate laws, theories and legal frameworks. So that's something that we are again told to work towards. We also have a thing called as LSE Congress and LSE Law Summit that's there, which is again a blend and an interaction wherein law firms come and interact with you. And lastly, there is an international organization day that is there, wherein all the different international organizations, right from your UNICEF to ILOs and World Bank and everyone come and they have an interaction with you, and the delegates from there come and tell you about the functioning and what are the options available to you. So I guess you get a lot of practical on-field knowledge from the ones who are actually working there. However, you have to be on your toes because at times it becomes really hectic. There are days when it clashes with your class timings, your seminar timings, your assignments, and these extra events. However, I feel that you've just got this 1 year outside. So you've come there to explore and you have to make it through. So I guess once you're preparing for this journey, at the back of your mind, you should also prepare yourself to push your boundaries. Mentally and physically both. You should be ready to take on to the opportunities because that's how you're gonna step out from your comfort zone. And I'd say that just be ready to do that, because even if there are gloomy days and there are days that you feel exhausted, at the end of a term also I can say that you feel that you are 5 steps ahead that you were when you initially started off.
Right. As an international student, what resources and support systems are you finding more valuable in transitioning to studying in London?
Resources as in I couldn't get
So this
through.
college sells maybe,
Acha, okay, that way. So the ones in LSE, you
right.
mean? Okay, so LSE again has quite a few of them. So we have our career hub cell that's there. So LSE Career Hub is the portal wherein you have all the networking opportunities present. You can get your CVs, you can get your practical interviews, and they get people who are actually the ones recruiting in law firms and in other offices. So that's something that's there. Apart from that, LSE has a great a very strong, concrete student union that's there. Now, the student union works in different capacities. One is there for your mental health well-being. Other one is there if you have any kind of other medical emergency, or another platform is there which is just a blend of societies. So you have a dance society, you have an Indian society, you have a debate society. In fact, we a couple of days back, there was a new society that was coming up that was just on literature. So, I mean, it's just varied. Apart from that, if people are interested in sports, you have basketball societies, you have cricket to salsa. So, I mean, there are a lot of options that they give you. So, you do not quite feel away from home. Instead, you make a home there with different people. So, I myself celebrated Christmas as I celebrated Diwali. So I made them eat Kaju Katli and they made plum cakes for me. So I guess that's like the perfect blend that you get. However, having said that, just be open to your ideas. Just get yourself free from prejudices, because having grown up, there are certain prejudices that you keep in your mind because of your circumstances or the experiences that you have had. So just keep yourself away from prejudices and just be ready to just go there and delve yourself, and that will help you unleash your potential to its best.
Can you talk about the placement assistance that LSE provides for students, and what are your plans for the future, though you're still pursuing your LLM? Any rough
Yeah.
time?
So I'll say it's not specific placement opportunities, because LSE believes in, making you strong enough, in giving you the platform to find out your own way. So they'll train you with other resources that are available. However, they do not have any per se tie-ups, but they'll guide you right from your CV writing to checking up your interview sessions and all of it. However, there is no tie-up that you can say that, if I'm taking admission, you have to guarantee me a placement. So
Right.
that's not a thing that's there. And I think that that's a heads up that everyone needs to know, that you do not have like a secured job. Everyone is going to be in that race of struggle, but they'll give you a platform wherein you'll know what opportunities are present. Because being an international student, even I wasn't aware that, okay, even this is something that you can work for. There are paralegal opportunities that are there that you can work for.
Right.
So apart from that, many people are inclined towards academics. They want to become academicians, they want to have their PhDs done, or they want to just research more. So again, with that respect also, they give you a platform, they connect you with other peer mentors who are there, or students studying PhD, or to other study groups or assistant programs that are there, or fellowship programs that are there. Or they also connect you to IOs. However, it's you who needs to take the step to go through it. So I guess that's the big thing. And their career hub portal itself is a very big platform. It's a separate website altogether that they have created. And once you become a student of LSE, you get an access to all the portals that are there. So all the opportunities, then be it part-time opportunities, be it virtual opportunities, be it internship opportunities, all of them are present. And in fact, at times you get a bundle of mails from them with respect to the newsletters, with respect to vacancies that come up. So I guess they give you a platter. It's just on you to pick the right food and eat. So I
Right.
guess they keep your dish full garnished, everything done. It's you who now needs to put an effort to select the right food and ensure that it reaches your stomach properly. So I guess that's the thing. And as far as my plans are concerned, I'm still juggling, and I'm interested into quite a lot of things, because I'm engaged with a lot of things myself. At times I'm interested towards academics, at times I'm interested towards law firms. However, as of now, I'm intending to research a bit more in the winter term and then decide upon, because my interest is mostly towards public, international, and comparative transnational laws. But one thing that I'm sure of is that I would want to come back to India, maybe say after an year or so of working there, not immediately, because I think when it's giving you such a big platform, and when you learn for an year there, you understand how valuable it is to work over there as well, to get that international work experience over there, so that after that, when you come back here, you're not just coming with knowledge, but you're also coming with the wisdom of having applied that knowledge over there and in that international domain sphere as well. So I guess I intend to work there for a while, but then come back here eventually, say in a year or two. So yeah, that's the plan for now.
With this, I believe we have covered all the important things that we needed to know about LLM from LSE. Thank you so very much for accommodating our request during your vacations. I am very
No,
positive this video will be of utmost help to everybody watching it. Once again, on behalf
no,
of YLCC, I thank you for being with us and sharing your journey. All the best for your journey ahead.
thank you. That was really a very important thing that I wanted to sincerely do since a very long time, because I had been in the shoes of the person seeing and looking out for YouTube videos, and or trying to reach out to people on LinkedIn. Please help me. What's the application procedure? Please give me a realistic background apart from what the website shows. So I think if I'm able to pass on that knowledge to anyone who really needs, and even if 1% of whatever I've said is valuable to anyone and they get benefited from it, so I'll be more than happy for it. So
Thank
thank you so
you.
much for giving me this platform, and it was lovely interacting and sharing my experience.
Thank you.
Thank you.